finally get a raise, a bonus, a new client. And within weeks, the money is gone. Not because of bad luck, not because of bills, because something inside you made sure it disappeared. Your subconscious has a number, a financial ceiling. And every single time you get close to breaking through it, your own mind pulls the emergency brake. You overspend, you pick a fight with your partner, you make a terrible investment. You procrastinate on the one thing that would change everything. And you tell yourself it's just life. But it is not life, it is a program running inside your head. A program you didn't write, a program you didn't choose, but a program you've been obeying your entire financial life. Self-sabotage is protection. That's right, your subconscious isn't trying to destroy you, it's trying to protect you. And by the end of this video, you'll understand exactly how this invisible thermostat works, why it keeps pulling you back down, and most importantly, how to finally reprogram it. Because the truth is, you don't have an income problem, you have an identity problem, and that changes everything. Your home has a thermostat. When the room gets too hot, the air conditioning kicks in. When it gets too cold, the heater turns on. It always brings the temperature back to the number you set. Your subconscious mind works exactly the same way with money, except you didn't set the number. Your parents did, your childhood did, your environment did. Psychologist Dr. Gay Hendricks calls this your upper limit problem. Every person has an internal set point for how much success, wealth, and happiness they believe they deserve. And the moment you start exceeding that set point, your subconscious goes into emergency mode. Each of us has an inner thermostat setting that determines how much love, success, and creativity we allow ourselves to enjoy. Think about it. Have you ever noticed that every time things start going really well financially, something always goes wrong? You get sick. You make an impulsive purchase. You start a conflict that derails your focus. That is not coincidence. That is your thermostat correcting the temperature. A study from the National Endowment for Financial Education found that roughly 70% of lottery winners go broke within a few years. 70%. These people received millions of dollars overnight, but their internal thermostat was still set to broke, so their subconscious did what it always does. It brought them back down to their set point. But this raises a terrifying question. Where did your money thermostat get set? The answer will make you uncomfortable. Between the ages of 0 and 7, your brain was essentially a recording device. Neuroscience tells us that during these years, children operate primarily in theta brainwave states, the same state used in hypnosis. You weren't analyzing what your parents said about money. You were absorbing it directly into your subconscious. Every argument about bills became a line of code in your financial programming. If your mother said we can't afford that, your subconscious recorded, money is scarce. If your father worked 70 hours a week and was always stressed, your subconscious recorded, wealth requires suffering. If your family treated rich people with resentment, your subconscious recorded, wealthy people are bad, and you should not become one. Scarcity, suffering, shame. These aren't just memories, they are operating instructions. Dr. Bruce Lipton, a cell biologist from Stanford, demonstrated that 95% of our daily behavior is controlled by subconscious programs, not conscious decisions. You think you're choosing your financial behaviors, but most of the time you're just running a script that was written before you could even read. If this belief hit close to home, hit like and subscribe to reprogram more of your money blocks. The next one might be the one holding you back the most, because it gets darker than childhood memories. Here is what nobody tells you about self-sabotage. It is not weakness. It is not laziness. It is not a character flaw. Protection. Your subconscious mind has one primary directive: keep you alive, and it defines alive as familiar. Anything outside your comfort zone, including financial success, registers as a potential threat. Your nervous system cannot tell the difference between a lion in the savannah and a bank account that's growing too fast. Both trigger the same stress response. Both activate the same survival circuitry. Neuroscientist Dr. Joe Dispenza explains that the body becomes addicted to the chemical states associated with familiar emotions. The body is so objective that it cannot tell the difference between an actual experience and one that is fabricated by thought alone. If you've spent 20 years feeling stressed about money, your body is chemically addicted to that stress. When you start making more money and the stress begins to fade, your body panics. It needs its fix, so it creates situations that bring the stress back. You are literally addicted to being broke, not because you want to be, but because your nervous system demands the familiarity. And here is where it gets truly disturbing. Self-sabotage is not random. It follows very specific and predictable patterns, and once you see them, you cannot unsee them. Pattern 1, the spender. You earn more, you spend more. Every raise, every bonus, every windfall gets absorbed immediately. Your bank account looks the same whether you make 30,000 or 100,000. Your subconscious is maintaining the set point. 1, the spender. More income equals more spending. 2, the procrastinator. Delays the actions that create wealth. 3, the conflict creator. Starts fights when money flows. 4, the health saboteur. Gets sick when success arrives. Pattern 2, the procrastinator. You know exactly what to do to make more money. You have the plan, you have the skills, but you just cannot seem to do it. You scroll instead. You reorganize your desk. You start a new course instead of applying what you already know. Your subconscious is protecting you from exceeding the thermostat. Pattern 3, the conflict creator. Things are going well financially, and suddenly you pick a fight with your partner, with your business partner, with your client. The relationship damage ensures the money stops flowing. Spend, delay, fight, collapse. Pattern 4, the health saboteur. You land a huge opportunity and immediately get sick. Your body literally shuts down to prevent you from stepping into a level of success your subconscious considers dangerous. Which pattern is yours, and more importantly, what is actually driving it? Underneath every single sabotage pattern, there is one core belief acting as the engine, and it always sounds like some version of the same sentence. I am not worthy of having more than this. Maybe you don't say it out loud. Maybe you don't even think it consciously, but it runs like background software, silently governing every financial decision you make. Psychologist Nathaniel Branden, who spent over 40 years studying self-esteem, discovered something profound. He found that a person's income will rarely exceed their self-concept by more than 10%. The first step toward change is awareness. The second step is acceptance. Read that again. Your income follows your identity, not your skills, not your education, not your opportunities, your identity. If deep down you believe you are a $60,000 a year person, you will unconsciously arrange your life to confirm that belief. You'll turn down opportunities. You'll undersell your work. You'll avoid asking for the raise, not because you can't, because your identity says you shouldn't. Your reflection determines your reality. The mirror of self-worth dictates the size of your bank account. And this is precisely why so many people who work incredibly hard remain financially stuck. They're putting in the effort, but their internal operating system keeps deleting the results. But here's where it gets interesting. There is another saboteur hiding in your subconscious. And this one is especially vicious because it disguises itself as morality. Guilt, the silent wealth killer that hides behind good intentions. If the people you love are struggling financially, your subconscious creates an unspoken rule. You are not allowed to have more than them. This is called survivor's guilt adapted for finances. It's the same mechanism that prevents soldiers from enjoying life after their friends didn't make it home. Except in your case, the battlefield is your family's kitchen table, and the casualties are financial dreams. Think about it honestly. If you became wealthy tomorrow, how would your family react? Would they celebrate, or would they distance themselves? Would they be proud, or would they say you've changed? Guilt, loyalty, poverty. For many people, staying broke is an unconscious act of loyalty. Wealth would mean separating from the tribe, and your subconscious reads tribal separation as death. Anthropologically, being expelled from the group meant certain death for our ancestors. So your brain treats financial success the same way it treats exile. Your loyalty to poverty is not love, it is fear wearing a mask. As philosopher Khalil Gibran wrote, your living is determined not so much by what life brings to you as by the attitude you bring to life. The attitude you bring to wealth matters more than any strategy. But there's a mechanism even deeper than guilt. Here is perhaps the most insidious form of self-sabotage, the one you never see coming because it feels like authenticity. Identity. You've told yourself a story about who you are for so long that changing it feels like dying. I'm not a money person. I'm the creative one, not the business one. I'm spiritual, I don't care about material things. Rich people are greedy and I'm not like them. These aren't just thoughts, they are identity anchors. And your subconscious defends your identity the way your immune system defends against a virus, with everything it has. Research from Stanford psychologist Carol Dweck shows that people with fixed identities will actively reject evidence that contradicts their self-image. You will literally ignore proof that you could be wealthy. Someone offers you a business opportunity. Your identity says that's not who I am, and you dismiss it. You read a book about wealth creation. Your identity filters out the parts that could actually help you. You meet a wealthy person. Your identity whispers they must be dishonest. Your label becomes your prison. The cage is not your circumstances. The cage is the story you keep telling yourself about who you are, and what I'm about to reveal next is the key that unlocks it. The first and most important step to dismantling your money thermostat is brutally simple. But do not confuse simple with easy. You cannot change what you refuse to see. Awareness, conscious, deliberate, uncomfortable awareness. The moment you catch yourself in a sabotage pattern, the pattern begins to lose its power. Here's why. Subconscious programs only work in the dark. They operate on autopilot. When you shine the light of consciousness on them, you interrupt the automatic loop. Neuroscience confirms this. The prefrontal cortex, your conscious mind, can override amygdala responses when actively engaged, but it requires presence. It requires you to pause in the moment of sabotage and ask yourself 3 questions. 1. What am I doing right now? 2. What feeling am I trying to avoid? 3. What would happen if I didn't sabotage this? That third question is the one that changes everything. Because 9 times out of 10, the answer reveals the hidden fear. I'd have to become someone new. I'd outgrow my friends. I'd prove my parents wrong. I'd have no excuse left. See it, break it. As Carl Jung famously stated, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate. Stop calling your sabotage fate. Start calling it what it is, a program, and programs can be rewritten. Speaking of rewriting. Now that you can see the thermostat, it's time to change the setting. And this is where most people get it completely wrong. They try to change their bank account before they change their identity. They chase money instead of becoming the person who naturally attracts it. You do not attract what you want, you attract what you believe you are. So here is how you actually reset your financial set point. Step 1, write your money autobiography. Sit down and write every memory you have about money from childhood. What did your parents say? How did they act? What did you learn? This isn't journaling for fun. This is excavation. You are digging up the source code. Step 2, identity rehearsal. Dr. Joe Dispenza's research shows that when you mentally rehearse being a new version of yourself repeatedly, your brain cannot distinguish between the rehearsal and reality. Your brain literally rewires to match the new identity. Spend 10 minutes every morning feeling what it would be like to be the person who handles wealth naturally, not wanting the money, being the person who has it. Step 3, tolerate the discomfort. When your income starts rising and your nervous system screams that something is wrong, do not react. Sit with it. Let the alarm bells ring without pulling the emergency brake. The cave you fear to enter holds the treasure you seek. This is the hardest part because growth feels like danger. But what comes next is the final piece that locks it all in. Everything you've learned today comes down to this single truth. Self-sabotage is not your enemy. Is your subconscious trying to keep you safe in a world that no longer exists. You were programmed for a financial reality that belonged to your parents, to their fears, to their limitations, but you are not them, and their thermostat does not have to be yours. The research is clear. Neuroplasticity proves your brain can rewire at any age. Epigenetics shows you can override inherited patterns. Behavioral psychology confirms that new habits physically restructure neural pathways within 66 days. Rewire, override, rebuild. You now understand the thermostat. You've seen the childhood programming. You've identified the safety mechanism, the sabotage patterns, the unworthiness engine, the guilt trap, and the identity cage. And you have the tools to dismantle every single one of them. The old program is already glitching. You can feel it losing its grip right now. But here is the final truth nobody tells you. Reprogramming is not a one-time event. It is a daily practice. Every morning you wake up, your old code tries to reinstall itself. And every morning you must consciously choose the new program. The wealthy didn't win a genetic lottery. They simply refused to run poverty software. The mind is everything. What you think, you become. If you made it this far, comment thermostat reset to prove you're among the few who actually understand why they've been financially stuck. Most people will watch this and do nothing. But you're not most people. Your mind is either programmed for wealth or poverty. Now you know how to reprogram it.